Good morning. Today we're going to continue to talk about the world of hotels. We've been talking about the different measures that hotels use to gauge their performance against competitors. Today we're going to actually talk about what some of the formulas to calculate some of those measures are. We spoke about before average daily rate and what that means for hotels. We talked about occupancy percentage and also revenue per available room. Revenue per available room being the most important measure because it combines both average daily rate and occupancy percentage. Today I'm going to show you how to calculate these so that you know what the exact numbers are that hotels look at on a daily basis to gauge performance. The first one that we're going to cover is the average daily rate. Average daily rate is calculated by taking the room's revenue for that day, as the name implies, right? Average daily rate. The room's revenue for that day divided by the rooms occupied for that specific date. So just by using a simple example, let's look at a room's revenue of $10,000 for that day. And let's say that day the hotel only had 100 rooms occupied. The ADR would then be the $10,000 that we collected for that day in revenue divided by the 100 rooms that were occupied on that specific day. So dividing $10,000 by 100 rooms gives you an ADR of, right, $100. Pretty simple, straightforward example on that. Now the next measure would be occupancy percentage. The occupancy percentage is calculated by taking the rooms occupied for that day as well, divided by the rooms available for that day, and then multiplied by 100. Why do you take a minute and think, why do we multiply by 100? Right, as the name implies, percentage. We're trying to get a percentage, so we're multiplying by 100 to get the result in terms of a percentage. So rooms occupied, we said from the previous example, we're going to use the same occupancy, 120 rooms. Let's say this hotel has 120 rooms in the property that are available for rent. So 120 rooms, we're dividing 100 by 120. Our answer should be 0.83, or when multiplied by 100, in order to turn it into a percentage, we get 83%, right? Okay. Now, bringing that all together, I explained to you that revenue per available room, or RevPAR, as hotels refer to it, is one of the most important measures. We're going to combine occupancy percentage times the average daily rate, or OP times ADR, right? Your occupancy percentage was 83%. We calculated in the first example that our ADR, or average daily rate, was $100, giving you a revenue per available room of $83. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, how hotels use these measures is to compare themselves against their competitors. I said that before, right? They receive a report that will have the $100 in ADR, the 83% in occupancy, and the $83 in RevPAR, based on how their competitors are doing. For example, if their competitors have an occupancy of 90% and a revenue per available room of $100, what do you think? Are we doing well versus our competition? Probably not, right? They have higher occupancy and they have higher revenue per available room. So we want to increase our occupancy, and we are probably leaving money on the table also by charging a lot less than our similar competitors. Hotels look at this on a daily basis, a report called the STAR report, and they figure out whether they need to increase their prices, whether they need to do more promotion out there to increase their occupancy percentage and attract more guests to their hotel, things like that. So that's why it's important to know these measures. And as you can imagine, when you deal with these things on a daily basis at a hotel, then you refer to them as ADR, OP, RevPAR, You won't have to use the long term's occupancy percentage, average daily rate, revenue per available room.